Good morning guys, welcome to the chemistry online classes. In the last session we have started periodic table in which we have discussed various types of classifications by different scientists. The last classification was Mendeleev's classification of elements, which is a very important classification in the development of periodic table because the modern periodic table or the long form of periodic table that we are using presently is actually developed by the modification of Mendeleev's periodic table. Because of that reason, the merits and the demerits of the Mendeleev's periodic table is very important. In this class, today we shall discuss about the modern periodic table, or which is also called as a long form of periodic table. Before going for the description of the long form of periodic table, we should understand the discovery of the atomic number, because the modern periodic table is constructed based on the atomic number and electronic configuration. So that let us see the discovery of atomic number first of all. As you all know, atomic number is denoted with Z. Is actually discovered by a scientist called Henry Moseley. Discovered by Henry Moseley. Discovered from X-ray spectroscopy. This is one of the technique for studying the properties of the elements. Spectroscopy qualities. He has discovered the atomic number from X-ray spectroscopy of elements. In this X-ray spectroscopy, generally what he has done is, in the X-ray spectroscopy, he has taken various metals, elements, and which is bombarded with cathode rays. When you are bombarding the elements with the cathode rays, these elements will emit the radiation. This is called emitted radiation. This is called cathode rays. When elements are irradiated with high energy cathode rays, they will emit certain radiation. Here Moseley has studied the relation between the atomic number and frequency of the emitted radiation, which is given the frequency of this emitted radiation is related to the atomic number by an equation which has given root mu equal to A of Z minus D. Here this particular equation relates the relation between the frequency of the emitted radiation and atomic number of the element. In this equation, mu is frequency of emitted radiation. Frequency of emitted radiation. Where Z is atomic number. A and B are constants. By using different elements, we have studied different elements and studied the frequency of emitted radiation, and he has plot a graph of root mu versus atomic number, which gives a straight line. From this, he has concluded that the frequency of radiation emitted by elements is directly proportional to atomic number. That means as the atomic number increases, the frequency of the emitted radiation is also increased. From this, what he has concluded is, so far whatever the classifications we have seen, in all those classifications, the main basis for the classification of elements was atomic weight. For the first time, he gave the fundamental idea of classification of elements with atomic number. He said that atomic number would be the fundamental basis to which we can relate the properties of the elements instead of atomic weight. This is a landmark experiment in the chemistry which is actually led to the development of the modern periodic table or long form of periodic table that we are using nowadays. This is the Hendrix-Moseley experiment. From this equation which relates the relation of frequency atomic number is very important, and the nature of the curve has to be remembered. The graph of root mu versus z gives a straight line. This was the experiment associated with the discovery of atomic number. Hope it is clear. If you want, you can take a screenshot of this, and we'll start with modern periodic table. We'll see modern periodic law. This modern periodic law says that physical and chemical properties of elements, physical and chemical properties of elements are periodic function of the atomic number and electronic configuration. Actually, valency electronic configuration. Right? Now, we'll see modern periodic table, which is also called long form of periodic table. It was constructed by the present form of periodic table is being given by the work of various scientists such as Niels Bohr and other scientists are developing the present periodic table. It was constructed based on electronic configuration. In the long form of periodic table, there are 7 periods and 80 groups. 7 periods and 80 groups. We will see the description of periods as well as groups. First of all, we see the periods. These periods are numbered according to arrangement 1 to 7. In the long form of periodic table, elements are arranged according to their increasing order of atomic numbers. In this long form of periodic table, what they have done is they kept on arranging the elements one by one with increasing order of atomic numbers. When another element with the same electronic configuration has come, they arrange it below the first element. In this manner, they are arranging all the elements. The actual criteria of writing or arranging elements is electronic configuration. Right? Here, the electrons are arranged in the orbitals according to their n plus L values. What is meant by NU? Principal quantum number, L is azimuthal quantum number. First of all, according to that, nothing but according to what it is half dome. You have to arrange the electrons in the atomic orbitals according to their n plus L values. Actually, the modern periodic table is a graphical representation of of both. This is very important point, of both. Now, when it comes to periods, first of all we should know what is meant by differentiating electron. The electron which differentiates one element from its previous element is called differentiating electron. This term is very important for us because we are going to use this term repeatedly. We need to understand what is meant by differentiating electron. The one electron which will differentiate one element from its previous element will be called as, suppose if I ask, if you take the atomic number of carbon is 6 and atomic number of nitrogen is 7, and what is the difference in the sense? Here they are differing by one electron. Here there are 6 electrons, here there are 7 electrons. Here this one electron which is differentiated, if I talk about the nitrogen, this one electron which is differentiating the nitrogen from carbon will be called as differentiating electron. In each period, differentiating electron enters into s orbital of first element, and p orbital of last element. In each and every period, the first electrons enter into the s orbital of the first element and p orbital of the last element. By that, what we can say, in each period, the first element will belong to the s block and the first element will belong to the last element will belong to the p block. From this, what we can see, in each period, first element is alkali metal, and last element is noble gas element. Noble gas or inert gas element. Right? Now, these are some important points regarding the periods. Generally, if you see, the advantage of the periodic table is all the elements which are falling in one line will have the similar properties. Why they are having the similar properties? This property will be called periodicity of the properties. As what is the relation between the electronic configuration and the properties of the elements? Here the actual criteria of arranging elements is electronic configuration. All the elements which are falling in one line will have similar valency electronic configuration. When they are having similar valency electronic configuration, they will exhibit the similar properties. What is the relation between the similar number of valency electrons and similar properties? Actually, these valency electrons, that is electrons present in the last orbital, outermost orbital, will generally participate in the chemical reactions or in chemical changes. If there are same number of valency electrons, they will undergo same sort of chemical changes. By that, they will have the similar properties. This is actually cause of periodicity. What is causing the periodicity? Similar valency electronic configuration. Right? It is clear so far. Now we will see the group period description of periodic table. If you want, you can take a screenshot of this quickly. As I said, there are 7 periods. What is the first period? In each period, the important thing is that each period is associated with filling of electrons in orbital, in one orbit or one shell. That means the first period is associated with filling of electrons in first orbit. That is, first orbit is associated with only one orbital, that is 1s orbital. As 1s orbital can accommodate 2 electrons. The maximum number of electrons that can be accommodated by s orbital will be 2 electrons. Hence, there are two elements. In first period. How many elements are there in the first period? 2 elements. Why there are 2? Because first period is associated with filling of electrons in the first orbit. That first orbit is associated with 1s orbital. Hence, there are 2 elements in the first period. What are the 2 elements? Hydrogen and helium. Hydrogen 1 and helium 2. So the total number of elements in the first period are 2. Hence it is called as shortest. This is the shortest period of periodic table. Now, if you are talking about second period, it is associated with filling of electrons in second orbit, where the electrons are filling 2s and 2. How many electrons can be accommodated in one s orbital and one p subshell? Electrons are filling s subshell as well as p subshell. We know that there are 3 p orbitals in p subshell. So total number of orbitals are 4 orbitals. P subshell can accommodate 6 electrons and s subshell can accommodate 2 electrons. So the total number of electrons that can be accommodated in second orbit is 6 plus 2 will be 8. 8 electrons can be accommodated. Hence, there are 8 elements. How many elements are there? 8 elements are there in the second period. That is from lithium 3 to neon 10. Total number of elements are 8. So because of this reason, it is called as short period. What is called? Short period bond. When it comes to third period, the third period is associated with filling of electrons in the third orbit. Here, electrons are entered 3s and 3p. And how many electrons we can accommodate? 6 plus 2 will be 8. Hence, how many elements will be there? 8 electrons. Therefore, 8 elements will be there in the third period. What are the 8 elements? That is from sodium 11 to argon 18. Total number of elements are 8. Hence, it is also called as short period. It is called as short period 2. This is shortest period having 2 elements, and this is 8 elements, and this is also 8 elements. Now, if you are looking at the fourth period, here it is associated with filling of electrons in the fourth orbit. As we have already seen, electrons are arranged in the atomic orbital according to their n plus l value. And you know that in the third orbit there are 3 subshells, 3s, 3p and 3d. But we are not filling 3b here. It will be filled here, 3s, 3b and 4p. The total number of electrons that these orbital or these subshells can accommodate is 2 plus 10, 12 plus 6, 18. So total number of electrons that it can accommodate 18. So total number of elements will be how many? 18 elements. What are the 18 elements? That is from potassium 19 potassium 19, krypton 36. Hence this is called as long period. What it is called? Long period. What it is called? The number of elements that fourth period can accommodate is 80. If you are talking about here, one important thing is that this fourth period is associated with transition series. Transition series, or we call it as 3D series. 3D series. That is from 3D series elements called as. That is from scandium 21 to zinc 30. These 10 elements are called as 3D series elements, or they are called as first transition series. As these elements are comes under D block, they can be called as 3D series. Right? When it comes to the fifth period, here fifth period is associated with filling of electrons in the fifth orbit. That is, and here the orbitals that are being filled are 5s, 4d, and 5. And how many electrons all these subshells can accommodate? 2 electrons in S subshell, 10 electrons in B subshell, 6 electrons in P subshell. So that the total number of electrons that it can accommodate 80, and the total elements that it can accommodate the fourth period will be 18 elements. So that there are 18 elements in the fifth period. What are the 18 elements? That is from rubidium 37 to xenon 54. And it is also called long, what it is called? Long period. Here also there is second transition series. Second transition series, or it is also called as 4D series. What is the 4D series? That is from yttrium 39 to cadmium 48. The fifth period includes second transition series or 4D series, which is from yttrium 39 to cadmium 48. Right? And what is the next period? Sixth period. Here, it is associated with filling of electrons in sixth orbit. Then the orbital that is going to fill is 6s according to their interest level, 4f, 5d, and 6d. The total number of electrons that these subshells can accommodate are: S subshell can accommodate 2, F subshell can accommodate 14, and D subshell can accommodate 10, and P subshell can accommodate 6. So that the total number of electrons that all these subshells can accommodate becomes 32 electrons. So that how many elements will be there? 32 elements will be there. And what are the 32 elements? That is from cesium 55, radon, Lp6. This is called longest period. What it is called? Longest period of the periodic table. These descriptions are very important. Right? Now, this sixth period is associated with third transition series or 5D series. This 5D series begins from lanthanum 57 to hafnium 72. In between there are 14 lanthanums and up to mercury 8. These 10 electrons comes under third transition series or 5D series. And here it is also associated with 4f series. What is 4f series? Here, in between lanthanum to hafnium, there are 14 elements which are called as cerium 58 to lutetium 71. Important thing is that first of all, sixth period is the longest period because it is associated with 32 elements, in which it is associated with 5D series as well as 4f series. Right? And you have to remember the description of each period. First period is called shortest, second and third called short, fourth and fifth are called long, and sixth period is called as longest period. period is 7 period. For that, I need to clear the board. Seven period is associated with field of electrons in 7 carbon, that is 7s, 5f, 6d and 7. All these subsets can accommodate 32 electrons, and there are 32 elements can be there in the 7th period. But as per the NCERT information, this period is considered as incomplete because 4 more elements to be ratified by the IUPAC at the time. But till then, all the elements has been ratified, so that we can say it is completed. For the updated information, as per the NCERT, we can say it is incomplete. Right? Now, it will be. There are 32 elements. So this is also one of the longest, or generally as per NCERT we say incomplete period. Now, what are the elements? Francium 87. Francium 87. It is Ognisan 118. Or generally it is also given UUO, unoctane, as per the IUPAC. Here it is associated with 4th transition series, or which is also called as 6D series. What is the 6D series here? It is associated with, it will be from actinium 89 to rutherfordium 114 to copernicium 112. It is also associated with 5 series. What is 5 series? That is, here in between the actinium and rutherfordium there are 14 elements. That is from thorium 92 to lawrencium 102. These 14 elements are called as 5 series. Important thing to be noted on is that 5 series comes under 5th period. This is about the periodic description of the periods of the periodic table. Right? Now, second is groups. How many groups are there in the periodic table? There are 18 groups. They can be named in different ways. They are generally named from first A to 7th A. And this is also called as 8A or 0 group. And third B, 8th B, and first B, second, or as per the IUPAC, the latest version nowadays we are using simply 1 to 8. These groups are numbered in 1 to 8. This is a periodic description of the periodic table. Now there are 7 periods and 18 groups, right? Now this is the outlooks and outlines of the modern periodic table. Hope this clear for you guys, right? If it is clear, we will move to the next concept, that is classification of elements into classification of elements based on electronic configuration. Based on the electronic configuration. As I said earlier, periodic table is constructed based on the electronic configuration, that is valence electronic configuration of elements. Elements can be classified into 4 blocks: S block, P block, D block and N block. There are 4 blocks based on the electronic configuration of elements. We will discuss these blocks one by one. What is the first block? S block. Right? The criteria for this classification of elements into block is that based on the entry of differentiating electron into atomic orbital, if the differentiating electron of element enters into the X block, that element comes under the S block. If the differentiating electron of an element enters into the P orbital, that element comes under P block. If the differentiating electron of an element enters into the d orbital, that element will come under d block. Similarly, if the differentiating electron of an element enters into the f orbital, then it will be included under the L block. This is the criteria for the classification of elements into corresponding blocks. Based on the entry of differentiating electron of an element, there are 4 blocks in the periodic table: S, P, D and N blocks. Right? If you are talking about the S block, all the elements in which differentiating electron enters into s orbital of valence shell or outermost are included under s block. Right? As we know, s orbital can accommodate a maximum of how many electron? S orbital can accommodate two electrons maximum. Hence, there are only two groups in S block. Why there are two groups? Because S orbital can maximum accommodate two electrons. Hence, there are two groups in S block. What are the two groups? That is, all the elements of hydrogen can be included or not. Hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium. All these elements are generally considered as alkali metals or first A group element, first A or first group elements. They are called. And their general electronic configurations, general valency electronic configuration. This is very important. You need to remember the general valency electronic configuration of each and every group. What is the general valency electronic configuration of first group? NS1. The number of electrons in the outermost shell are 1. There is one electron in outermost shell of the element. Right? Now, there is one more group. What is the other group here? Second. That is beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, radium are generally considered as alkali earth metal. What they are considered? Alkaline earth metal, which is also called as second or second group. What is the general outermost valence configuration of this second group elements? NS2. Number of electrons in the valence shell. This is the information you need to remember when you are dealing with the S block. Right? Now, let us see the general properties of S block elements. S block elements are extremely right side of the periodic table. Right? And there are two groups in S block. First and second A are there according to the IUPAC. Nowadays we are calling them as first group and second. And their corresponding elements. We have seen. Now let us see the general properties of S block elements. General properties of S block elements. If we are talking about the properties, as we know, S block elements are highly reactive. Highly reactive because of the one valence electron. If they lose that one valence electron, there will be no previous configuration. Highly reactive, and they generally form covalent ionic compounds. They are highly reactive and they form ionic compounds. They are generally soft image. They are called soft metals, and they conduct electricity in molten iron, aqueous state. They impart color in flame. They are reducing image. They are reducing image. What is meant by reducing image? They can undergo reduction. What is meant by reduction? The tendency to lose the electron can be considered as reduction. Right? Now, these are the general properties of S block elements. What is the second one? P block elements. What are P block elements? How can you define the P block elements? In all these elements, differentiating electron enters. Differentiating electron enters into p orbital of valency shell, and we know that the p subshell can accommodate how many electrons? 6 electrons. Hence there are 6 groups. 6 groups in P block. What are the 6 groups? That is from 13th group to 18th, or we may also say 3rd A to 8th A or 0 group. These are the 6 groups that are present in P block elements. Right? What is the general electronic configuration of P block elements? P block element general electronic configuration varies from NS2 NP1 to 6. NP1 to 6. This is the general electronic configuration of P block elements. Right? Now, the elements boron, aluminium, gallium, indium, thallium and nihonium. Boron, aluminium, gallium, indium, thallium, nihonium are generally considered as 3rd A or 13th group elements. 13th group elements. They are generally called as boron family. What they are called? Boron family. The general valence electronic configuration of these 13 groups. Here you need to remember the valence electronic configuration of each and every group. What are the elements included under this particular group and their corresponding valence electronic configuration we need to know. NS2 NP1 is the general valence electronic configuration of 13th group. 13th group are 3rd A groups. What is the general electronic configuration? NS2 NP1. Right? How many valence electrons are there in the outermost shell? 2 electrons in s orbital, 1 electron in the p orbital. So the total number of electrons in the valence shell, there are 3 electrons in outermost shell. In the competitive examination, you may be asked about the number of electrons in a particular group. In 13th group, the number of electrons are, right, 3 electrons are there. Right? Now, we'll go to the next group. How many groups are there in the P block? There are 6 groups. What is the first group? That is 13th group. What are the elements included? Boron, aluminium, gallium, indium, thallium and nihonium. Right? We will see the next one. Carbon, silicon, germanium, tin, lead, fluorine are generally included 40 or 42. These are called carbon family. These are called as carbon family, and their general electronic configuration. Valence electronic configuration is ns2np2. So number of electrons in valence shell are 4. This is the information you need to remember. What are the elements of the group and what is its valence electronic configuration? Number of electrons in the outer motion. Next, nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, bismuth and mascovine are included under 50th group or 15th group. These are also called as nitrogen family, or they are also called as nicogens, and their general valence electronic configuration is ns2np3, and the number of electrons in outermost shell. How many electrons are there? Outermost shell are 3 plus 2 will be 5, right? And the elements oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium, polonium and livermorium are included under 68 or 16 group. These are also called as oxygen family, or they are also called as chalcogens. You should remember the alternate names of the groups. And their general valence electronic configuration ns2np4. So the number of valence electrons in the outermost shell are 6 electrons are there in the valence shell. Valence shell are outermost shell, right? And fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, and astatine and tellurium are included in 7th, 8th or 17th group. This is also called as halogens. We are very familiar with this term, halogens. The general valence electronic configuration of this family is ns2np5, right? Valence electrons are 7 valence electrons are there. And helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon and ognison. These are called as 8th, A or 0 group or 18th group. They are also called as noble gas. Elements are inert gases. The general valence electronic configuration of all these elements is ns2np6. Number of electrons in the valence shell are electrons are 8, completely free. Because of that reason they are very stable. This is about the P block elements. Hope it is clear so far.